Hello, everyone, and welcome to our third episode of 7 Minutes to Unlock. We have a special guest today. Happy to host Mr. Kumar Gaurav, Chairman of Oxysis Group, India first distributed ledger development company, and the CEO of UK-based blockchain company Cashaa. Kumar is a big believer and influencer in the blockchain and crypto space. He managed lately to raise $5 million from a UAE-based company for Cashaa. For people watching us live on Zoom, you can place your questions to Kumar in the Q&A section, and we will try to answer them at the end of the session. We are live on Facebook, as well as the recording will be available shortly on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. So I invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and sure not to miss any of the 7 Minutes to Unlock episode. Hello, Kumar, happy to have you.
Thanks for having me.
You know the drill. We have 7 minutes to answer 7 questions. I'll start with my first question. What is Cashaa and its unique offering?
So Cashaa is, I would say, it's the only neobank in the world which is offering a national as well as cryptocurrency within the same system. Mm-hmm. And most important, so this is something which is on the front part, but if you're also, when we go into the system, banking system, we have done a lot of work when it comes to AML and compliance policy, which actually enable us to bank companies who are dealing in cryptocurrencies, gaming, gambling, cannabis, and we are even exploring more different emerging technologies to whom we can provide our banking services.
How were you able to raise $5 million from O1X during this tough economic time? And a lot of question about how much the stake of O1X in Cashaa now.
So the valuation is kept private on a mutual discussion with more O1X and Cashaa. Also because this fund is not actually raised for the global Cashaa, but very specific for the Cashaa India entity where we are expanding into the Indian market. So the O1X does not own the overall Cashaa, but they only own a part of a business now in India. It's done with two major focus that O1X, this major 5 million fund will go, a huge part of this fund will go on creating our Seifu fund and ensures the digital assets which on the platform. And then the other part will be used on the expansion into the Indian market, doing the regulatory work to start a neo-banking in India.
Fair enough. You're focusing too much on India, but you have now a presence in the UAE. How do you see uptake in UAE?
No, our major market is actually not India. Our major market is UK, Europe, and US. In fact, US, we have just started our expansion. But India is something which is next in line with the Middle East countries because we see a huge potential in these countries. And definitely we have to start from somewhere, and we picked India as our first point because once we saw, because culturally, all of these countries have certain similarities when you come from UK and Europe. So we say, okay, if we can start this, create this model on such a large scale in India, it would be much easier to replicate this model in UAE, in Saudi, Oman, and other Middle East countries.
Yeah. So how do you see the regulatory environment, especially comparing India and UAE with Singapore, let's say, and UK?
Okay, so it's a very different.
It's a tricky question, and you have to be careful. Huh? Answering it.
Been 4 years now I'm answering this question. So just to answer this, I see more or less the regulation around the world is actually not very different because the regulator primary concern when it comes to money is the same. They are protective about their consumers, which is their democracy, their kingdom. Right. And second, they don't want their country or their banking system to be exploited to do any money laundering or terrorist funding. Now, this concern, be it US, UK, Europe, Dubai, India, Singapore, it's the same. right? Only difference
Exactly.
is that certain countries have been looking into some technology from a longer time, and they have developed some understanding among themselves. While where Kasha comes into the picture, we comes today with the hundreds and thousands of data which is in banking directly related to cryptocurrencies. Because 95% of our customer base whom we are banking are crypto companies who in turn have a customers who are dealing in crypto, either buying and selling or holding crypto, lending, DeFi, participating in ICOs, STOs, DeFi projects. So our 95% transactional data is actually generated on someone who is dealing in cryptocurrency. Now, given that this data gives us a huge power to go to the regulator and talk to them with the data, that this is the data, this is how much we have done, and these are the failure rates, these are the money laundering transactions who've been suspicious, and this is how we have managed them. And when we talk with on these data, which is as of today much better than if you take a data from a regular bank. Why? Because the transactions involved in a money laundering is much higher than in a regular banking system, not dealing in crypto versus in cash. Now this gives a lot of, and because of this, I don't see that there is a much challenge we are facing. Yes, we faced a lot of challenge to start somewhere, which was in UK. It took us more than 2.5 years to get ourselves starting. But now we have started this and generating these thousands of transactions data. We are very confident in each new market we enter.
Okay, my next question. Many startups try to succeed. What are the main ingredients of Kasha success and especially profitability at an early stage?
I think the last part is more easier. We are already a profitable startup since March 2020. So it's been more than already 5 months, 6 months that we are profitable. So at least on the company side. Now, the main ingredients of Kasha versus other businesses, we choose to start our business in banking, right? Banking is one of the very regulated business around the world, because having a banking to a wrong business or a wrong person could actually bring a lot of damage. So it was a very slow start for us. But what helps us to keep focused is that our mission was to create a better bank. In a simple term, we define ourselves Kasha as a better HSBC, Kasha as a better Citigroup, Kasha as a better Barclays. Now, when we do put a word better, obviously it required a lot of focus and a lot of work on the compliance side. And that's what we have always took care. We never tried to pitch ourselves until we onboarded our first 100 customers so that we can have actual data. If you look Kasha marketing, we've been in total isolation for last 2.5 years to keep our heads down and really build what we believe in. And we believe in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is a future, and how we can mix banking and create a better banking for all the for the world. I think that's what really helped us to succeed over time. It was slow, but it was sure.
How important do you see crypto in the future of banking?
I don't only see crypto as a future of banking. I see crypto as a future of humanity. I see crypto as a next money evolution. And when it comes to money, it affects 7 billion, 8 billion people on this planet. So it's not only banking. Banking is a very small part which will get affected with the crypto, but indeed it's going to change every kind of e-commerce and the way the e-commerce is happening today.
Okay. Last, what are your plans for Kasha in the upcoming 6 months? And are you going to need any additional investment here?
Just on a short 6 months plan, I think in 6 months, we will be going very aggressively into the US market. We see, because we just started our trial and beta in the US after Europe. So next 6 months, 2 very important events is happening. First is that Kasha is rolling its own banking platform, which is due in next, I would say 4 weeks or less than 4 weeks. And second is expansion in the United States.
So are you following the news? Yesterday, Kraken could get the license of a bank in Wyoming.
Definitely. Not on Kraken. Before Kraken, Avanti Trust also got the license from the same regulator from where the Kraken have got. But the difference is the Kraken purpose, how they want to use is a bit different, because it's not only the license work, but it also the different infrastructure which is required to build a banking is different. So it's not the same thing. And the second, when it comes to Cashaa, we are not only US based, we are expanding into United States with products and services. For example, Kraken is not going to give banking to Binance, right? And Kraken is not going to give banking to Coinbase. Right. While when we come to banking, we are a banker for Kraken, we are a banker for Binance, we are a banker for Coinbase. So it's a completely different relationship with Cashaa, crypto industry, and Kraken with the crypto industry.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kumar. Thank you for watching, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and the most important, let us know who should we meet next.